Next driver at today's race, let's hear it for number 22, the driver of PPG Automotive Parts or Paints Chevrolet. That is Simon Pagano. And here to present our third place trophy is Kelly Webb from Quicken Loans.
Kelly.
You're right.
Everybody good? Okay, thank you. Now we move on to our second place finisher in today's race. Let's hear it for the number 27 Merchants first car from Marco Andretti. And once again, here's Kelly Webb to present the trophy. And our winner today of race number 1, driving the number 26 machine, that is Carlos Munoz. And here is Kelly Webb again to present the trophy. Very quickly, I'm going to talk to Carlos. Carlos, congratulations today on the win. I know you'd like to go the entire distance to get it done, but a win is a win is a win.
Yeah, like Marco said, a win is a win, you know. I'm more happy for my crew, for Android TV crew than myself, you know. I wanted to win in like normal conditions, you know, 100% of the laps. But you know, this is IndyCar, everything can happen. My first win, my second year in the IndyCar feels so good, you know. Hopefully tomorrow we have to start again. The conditions will not be rain. I feel very comfortable with the rain, so hopefully we have to push hard tomorrow. And you know, I have to thank my engineers and everyone for the strategy. You know, I think they did a great job. We knew the race was gonna be like that. Rain, dry, and we make a good call. And you know, first win of my IndyCar career.
How tough is it though for a driver to go rain, dry, the way it was going here today? And as you said, your crew came through for you. They made the right calls at the right time.
Yeah, when Marco, Simon, and I stayed, you know, in the track longer than anyone, it was quite tricky, especially the turn 1 and 2 was really wet. You know, Michael before the race said to me, I have to stick the nose clean and you have a good result, and that's what I did. You know, I was going fast when the condition was tricky. You know, in the end, I had like 30 seconds margin, so I just have to cruise to the finish line. But anyways, you know, this is how IndyCar is, and you know, proud of my Android TV and Android team for the 1 and 2.
Congratulations, Carlos Munoz. Carlos, I've got some more hardware for you here as the winner of the Detroit Grand Prix here in 2015. Presenting you with the Runwell Titanium Chrono official timepiece of the 2015 Detroit Grand Prix is Shinola artisan Nicole Comer. And at this time, please join me in honoring and recognizing the winning team owner for today's event, Michael Andretti. And here to present the trophy is Charles Burns, the Detroit Grand Prix General Manager.
Right here, please. Guys.
And now, before I move around, do you want a picture with Michael right there with Carlos real quick?
Sure, yeah. Hop in between Art and Carlos and Mark. There you go. All right, guys, right here, please.
Stay there, Simon.
Right, please, guys. Thank you.
Okay, and we'll ask Michael to leave the stage. Your top three here, and we will not do champagne. Okay, if we do champagne, I get out of the back of the room first before we do that. But congratulations to all three of you on a great race today. Hopefully we'll have better weather tomorrow. And I'll turn this over. Merrill, you want to take it over, or IndyCar? Oh, we've got some hats to go along.
In there. There you go. Don't bring any.
And Steve Williams from Verizon. And all the rest of the crew. They've welcomed everybody. Got the Firestone hats now for you. Steve Williams from Verizon, real quickly, wants to congratulate all three of you. Okay. Manufacturer caps. I'll say congratulations on Honda today for first and second.
Not yet. Not yet. Okay, you can go over there. Right.
And all of our drivers will be available very shortly for comments and also to talk to the media.
top 3 are in the back, and you do interviews in the back. We have to do it now. It's up to you. If you don't want it, don't worry about it.
Created race. This is Simon's third podium finish here on the streets of Belle, including his first career win in 2013, also the 11th podium finish of his career. Simon, you put yourself up on the podium for Team Penske, representing your team at your team's home race. What's that feeling like?
Yeah, it's great. Very happy to actually get a little bit of luck today. You know, we haven't had much luck this year, so it's nice to get some and represent Team Penske. You know, like I've been saying, Rogers has such a great dedication for the city and is trying to promote it as much as he can. And for us drivers, we just want to show well for him. And you know, today P3 is obviously we always want to win, but P3 is a pretty good result considering the situation, the weather, and the car was really good. So of course the strategy was a key part, and it was the key. It was the right course from the 22 team.
You mentioned strategy. strategy obviously a very large part of this race. What were your team's thoughts and run the strategy that you guys were running throughout the race, especially when it was wet at first, it dried up, and then of course wet again at the end?
Yeah, well, you know, that's the biggest thing for us. On the 22 side, we're a brand new team. We're getting to know each other. Kyle Moyer and I are just getting to work together, and Ben Bretzman's still my engineer, but we have a new crew around working on the timing stand. And today was awesome because, you know, obviously Indianapolis 500 went really well, but today on the road course was tricky condition. It was all about communication on how the track was, how wet it was getting, what tires I needed at what time, and it was the time they called me in. I said, no, I want to stay out a little longer. I think I can handle it. And they said, no problem, stay out. And they called me right in a little bit later when it started raining for rain tires, and we jumped to P3. So it was a really good call. And you know, it's awesome when things go so well in communication within the team. That's when things starts to. That's when you start seeing the light. So that's pretty cool.
Questions, and if you could please wait for the microphone, Bruce.
When you're in a situation like that where you're on dries and it's raining, is it kind of like racing on eggshells? You got to be real delicate but fast at the same time?
Yeah, it's actually my favorite conditions. I've had a lot of luck and success in these conditions, whether it's sports cars or Indy cars. So yeah, I mean, you just have to take a little bit of chances. Obviously, staying on the dry tires and on the wet conditions is always tricky, but you can gain 3 to 5 seconds compared to someone else on rain tires on the dry track. So it's all about, you know, deciding at the right time when to go to the next tires. And today it was all about making those decisions at the right time, and it wasn't easy.
Tim.
Yeah, Simon, how did you know when the right time was of the day? I mean, you know what I mean? 47 laps and they called it. I mean, did you feel lucky? What was the sense at the end there? A little bit.
Well, like I said, I've had quite a bit of experience in this situation, although it changes city to city and it changes country to country. So, you know, I mean, the thing is at the end of the day, the team tells you when they think the rain's going to appear. So they tell you, you know, number of laps or number of minutes, and then you have that in the back of your head. And then obviously next is what you see and what the track, how the track's changing. Where is the cloud, you know, if it's getting dark and things like that. And when you start seeing drops on your helmet in certain corners, you start getting ready and you tell the team that's starting to rain. But it's all about how heavy it gets and how quickly it gets rained out.
We have a question over here from Mike.
Simon, incredible conditions, difficult, but how did the track feel with all that water on it? I mean, it's been resurfaced in lots of areas, and the drainage was improved. Did it hold up okay?
It was actually quite good. I mean, at the start it was pretty rainy, and there's no puddles. It was draining really well. I think you know, the Penske organization did a great job at preparing the backstretch, for example. And it was very raceable. It was still raceable when we went red flag. But then, of course, when we stopped, it rained more, and it was probably getting tricky. It was certainly very slippery, but it was good racing. It was good fun.
Joined now by our race winner, Carlos Munoz, his first career win, another driver that's gotten their first career win here on the streets of Belle Isle. Previous best finish of 7th here. Carlos, obviously strategy was a huge component of this race. What strategy were you and your team on, and what's this first win like for you? Obviously coming a little bit different than you probably expected.
Yeah. Before the race, we knew it was going to be a crazy race with dry conditions, wet, dry conditions. Actually, my engineer is really good at it. He studied in the university, this kind of stuff, the weather. So when it rained a little bit and everyone came, and just Marco, Simon, and I stayed on track, I knew it was a short time of rain. So we stayed, you know, I had more fuel than Marco, so I could push 3 laps harder than anyone else. He's why I make the gap so big. And then in the rain, after the rain, I was feeling very comfortable. I was pulling like 2 seconds a lap after in the rain. After they say to slow down a little bit, but you know, it's my first win in IndyCar. Not the way I wanted to win. I want to win this one like 100%, like all the laps complete. But you know, a win is a win, that Marco said. Now tomorrow we have to start all over again.
You mentioned your teammate Marco also on the podium. He greeted you backstage, and also your team owner Michael Andretti. What did they say to you, and what were the words of encouragement from the team?
They say my face, and I'm more happy for my crew than myself, for the victory. And they say, a win is a win, and IndyCar win is this is racing, this is what happened. Michael, in the beginning of the race, he just told me, keep the nose clean, and you will be up there in the end of the race. And I think Marco did a great race, especially in the beginning with that cold going dry tires.
Questions, Patrick?
Take me through that gap again. Marco pits, and you did 2 more laps, I believe it was, and you jumped another. You were 14 seconds a lap quicker than them on the air rain tires. You're on slick. So did you have to pit then, or could you have stayed out a little longer, or the fuel bring you in?
Yeah, I had more fuel than anyone else. It told me 5 laps, and when I saw Marco in, I said, should I be coming in? The next lap on the pits, and the guy said, no, push hard. The track actually in the beginning was more wet, 1 and 2, then it was getting drier again. And then when they say pits, I was in turn 11, it started to really rain a lot, really hard. I changed to rain tires. With the rain tires, I started to push really hard. In the first place, my team said it was 10 seconds a difference, so I pushed really hard. Then it was, actually it was 26 seconds, and I put it to 30 seconds. And then, I knew the conditions were more tricky in the wet compared to the beginning. I don't know, because the rover was in the track or something, but the condition was harder for sure in the end than in the beginning.
Joined also by Marco Andretti, who finished second today, his best finish here as well, and his 19th podium finish of his career. Marco, we heard the radio transmissions, we heard the strategy back and forth with you and your team. What was going through your mind? You were obviously very confident, very set on the idea that you wanted to stay out and keep.
No, it started earlier than that. I was confident I wanted to come in to get slicks on, and this was early on. And I guess the consensus on the timing stand was the opposite. But I said the guys better be ready because I'm coming in. To me, it wasn't really a gamble. I was ready to go to slicks. I thought the track was there, and I knew there was still going to be a couple laps under yellow before we went green. So it was drying quick, and with the concrete, it dries quick. Tomorrow might be a little different with the temp change, but I don't know. Yeah, that's where it started. It was sort of a blessing and a curse because that's where I lost the race too, because he was able to do it a couple laps after me there, and that's what allowed him to run a couple laps longer at the end. So I knew I was going to have to surrender the lead. So that was a bummer, but a heck of an effort for the team for sure.
More questions for Simon, Carlos, or Marco? Yes, in the back.
Simon, to build upon something you said earlier, that it was getting wet, and maybe it made sense to stop at that point, but it did stop raining. And I guess to Simon and everybody else, I know that there's the reality of the television window, but would have you liked for any of you the race to continue? Because it was kind of a strange race up to that point. It was like only 36 minutes under green, 52 minutes under yellow. Would you have preferred to have had a chance to do more racing? Not to get you in trouble with your sponsors, but just what you think.
Well, IndyCar sent a memo before the race, so we all knew if it was going to rain heavily, that it would be a time race. Like they said, the first thing that was going to occur, whether it was 36 laps or 1 hour, was going to be the checkered flag. So if it was to go red flag, so when it happened, I think I was ready. I knew. Because of the memo, we knew that was a possibility, and they respected what they said. So I don't know. I thought that was the right call. Obviously, I always want to go racing, but it is what it is.
Bruce?
2 questions. First one's for both Carlos and Marco. Honda teams have been kind of taking their lumps this season, but yet, how important is it, even if it is a rain race, that they've got a 1-2 finish in an IndyCar race?
Yeah, I keep telling Carlos a win's a win, so to enjoy it, I'd take it. I've lost a lot of races, so I'll take any win, any way I can get it. But I agree with Carlos. We need to be doing it off a pace, an outright pace. Having said that, I think we mastered today's conditions, and that's why you won the race. So, it's definitely been a tough road, but I think both Andretti Autosport and Honda are up to the task, and we're not giving up.
And as Carlos, as far as Honda,
Yeah, you know, they always say the fastest guys never not always win. I think that was our case, you know, starting in 20s because of the qualifying red flag or the problems or whatever. We have to gamble, you know, when you're in the back, you have to gamble. And we gamble, you know. It's true that Honda is making a lot of work to catch up with the Chevys. It's still a long way to go. I think we have to still work a lot. This is for sure, if everything was okay, perfect, this is not our position. But this is IndyCar, right? Everything can happen, but we have to work a lot. It's still half season, we have to finish really well. I think Honda, everyone have to, our team, you know, we have to be the fastest Honda as well. We are not right now the fastest Honda, so we have to work really hard, especially after this race. You know, tomorrow is rain, so we'll see what happens.
and also Michael Andretti told you after the race, you went up to him and said, you know, you were sorry it couldn't have been a full race, and he said, no, go out there and own this victory, just like it's a victory anywhere else. How important is that to hear that?
It's a lot, you know, because I think because like Marco said, they don't see me smiling a lot. But I'm really happy for my crew, you know, for my Android TV, since the crew, you know, last year we were just there in the doors to a win or to podiums and everything. I think finally come true. Not what I was expected, but you know, like coming from Marco and from Michael, you know, it's always really nice.
Mark, Greg, and then Tim.
Mark, it looked like near the end of the race there at one point your car went into limp mode.
Yeah, we need to really figure out what happened there. It's definitely concerning, you know, whether it be my doing or something else. It cut out and then it surged and went again. I don't know if it was with moisture or something like that, but we need to definitely get to the bottom of it because I thought my day was done right there. It turned out that didn't affect me because of the gap he pulled on me was more than what I lost there. So, but yeah, I thought man, it would be a bummer to go out of the lead like that.
Marco, you were confident in the switch to the slicks, but can you just describe the first few laps with that and how hairy it might have been or not been? Did you ever think that it might have been a mistake at any point? And at the end, too, when you were trying to stretch it out and it started raining, how did that go for you?
The only time it's a mistake is when you're in the fence. You know, it's we knew that was the first goal, was just to keep it going forward. But you know, there was plenty of dry line. You know, and I knew that I had 2 laps at yellow to get plenty of temp in the tires, and it really worked out for me because we went green for a couple laps, and then when there was a yellow and everybody else went on the tires, I was the only one who had temp in my tires again. So. You know, it worked out. I mean, it's you know, I've gotten bit by it by doing it too early. You know, maybe just off of pace. I mean, I haven't crashed it, but you know, it's half the goal is just keeping it off the fence. But once that happens, I was asking for pace all the time to see if I was up there, and then once it came in, it was game on.
Yeah, Marco, following up on that, how tough is it to be rolling the dice? I don't think you thought you had a pretty good hand going there for, you know, and all of a sudden it doesn't work out for you. Just what kind of goes through your head?
Yeah, it was a bit of a roller coaster day. I mean, you know, we went from leading a lot. I mean, that wasn't a gamble. Like I was ready. That the track was ready, no question. From that point on, I mean, it was just about trying to stay in the lead, trying to lead it halfway in case there was a shortened race. We knew there was always that chance because of the reliability with lightning. So, you know, we tried to lead, and then I thought our entire race was done when at the power surge, and then I was like, I am not coming in. I'm going to wait till the car's on fumes because that's the only way I was going to beat Power because you know, they were trying to even call me in there, and I was like, why? We're not going to win that way. So we had to try it.
Marco, despite your teammate taking first, are you feeling frustrated or any sorts of similar emotions knowing that you could have come out on top?
Yeah, I mean, you want to win, but frustrated, I don't know. I mean, you know, I think we just need to keep hammering on these good results. You know, yeah, I mean, I wish I had more wins in my career, there's no question about it, but you know, I'm not giving up. I'll be as persistent as anybody out there, and hopefully I'm still early in my career.
Carlos, 2 years ago, you nearly won your first IndyCar race in the Indy 500. Since that moment, have you just kind of like, you got a little bit of a taste of how close it was to win, but you didn't really get the victory till today. How much did that just kind of drive you?
You know, on Monday after the race, already forgot about that. I didn't cross the finish line first, so nothing I couldn't do. It still was 4 laps remaining, or 2 laps. That's my mind. Everything that happened, we saw like this year, the fight or before last year. I forgot about the result. I had 2 more chances to win it. I was always there close. This year with the package, it wasn't really fast, but I was there the whole race, in the front. And I'm sure I can win someday this race, and I have the potential to win it. I'm just 23 years old. Juan won it with 40 years old. He's almost 20 years older than me, so why have for hopefully 15 years
Be nice.
to win it?
Be nice to one.
And all final,
Yeah, in a good way.
I'm not so sure that it's ever happened where 2 different Colombians won back-to-back races. How important is that?
Yeah, I think it's great for Colombia. The motorsport in Colombia was really high when Juan was here in the beginning, and then the Formula One. And I think now it's getting back like really hard. You see a lot of races, a lot of Colombians here. And Pocono last year there was more than 100. There was more Colombian in Pocono than American. So after the race, it was like a stadium, Colombian shouting Colombia, and hopefully it's gonna be bigger and bigger with good results. In one point we had 5 Colombians on the grid, so I think everything is good for Latin America. I think it's a great market for IndyCar.
Patrick.
Simon, I don't want to call you a veteran, but I'm going to. You're a veteran of this sport. You've been around for a while. What's it like when you see a young kid get their first win? Are you excited for him? I mean, were you worried, now I got another guy I got to keep on my way?
I just remember when it happened to me. It's good memories. Just make sure you enjoy it, man, because it's tough. This series is very competitive. Like Marco said, it's not that easy to get a win. So when you get that one win, make sure you enjoy it and save it in your memory, because you're gonna enjoy these moments. It's your day, and yeah, for sure I'm happy for him, definitely.
Any final questions for our podium? Gentlemen, congratulations.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.